Yeah, look, that's a bit better. Oh, it's nearly... Anyway, that should block it out for a little bit for me. If I move over here a bit, it might help. Yeah, so we have the new camera gear coming. It'll come here this next week sometime. And when we were away on our last trip, I've got like HEMA maps, which is a good mapping thing in the computer on the dash of the Land Cruiser, but I was finding it a bit hard to run, and you can't run the detailed tropical maps on there as such. Pardon me. So we bought a HEMA HX2 for our travels, and you can actually zoom in on the topograph maps. You can actually zoom in, and some of the stations up north and out west, it's that accurate that it'll actually show you the tracks. The station tracks actually come up on it from satellite imagery, and they give you GPS coordinates. So we've gone that way. It's got 100,000 points of interest loaded in, so when you're driving along and you'll see a little flag come up, so you can, Jude can tap that on the screen, and that'll say there's a war memorial there, or there's a ice cream shop, or a caravan, or I don't know, it just tells you stuff. And it's got that camps website in it as well, so it'll tell you where the camps are, where you're allowed to camp, free camps, caravan parks, all that sort of thing. It tells you where the next fuel depot is, all that. So it's a good thing. Very expensive, about $800, but we're looking at it as a long-term thing, because it would have been good to have it in the high country down south last time, and some of the roads we were on that our other maps showed it was just a bitumen road. No way was it a bitumen road, it was a track. So so we thought we'd just upgrade that and get the better quality stuff if we can. They're reading okay, people are happy with it, and you can work out trips. So yeah, we got that coming through the week too, so it was an expensive week. And we went and bought a Hyundai Venue car. Now, because we plan on going away a little bit more and the business is for sale, we're actually getting new signs put outside the business. They're just looking a bit shabby, and part of selling the business is having everything right up to scratch for us. So we're getting the new signs done over the next week, or over the next month anyway. And but Ross, that's been with us for, look, he must be 10 years, I'd say. He runs down the bottom, and he looks after all down the bottom. And his role's changing, and he'll be the manager. So we're bringing Ross in as the manager, and with the manager role, we supply him with a car, and it'll be sign written with Queensland Tractor Spares on it. Ross can take it home, and part of the deal is, you've got to not have to pay fringe benefits on a car, you've got to be on call. So he's agreed to that, but I said, I'm not going to call you out ever. If people can't arrange to have their TE20 oil filter through the week, well, we're not going to run in and open the shop and bug around for a $7 part. So, and then the deal is, when Ross is on holidays, Alan takes it, or Nicole takes it home, and the same deal sort of thing. So, so it'll come. We don't want it until September, till 1st of July. So we've ordered that. We've paid. We got the money tucked aside now to pay for it. So so that'll be another thing, and that'll help Judy and myself get away a little bit more. Last time we were away, we got great staff, and last time we were away, unbeknownst to us, Jude knew, but no one bothered to tell me. I'm just the boss. And the staff decided while we were away, so they didn't load up the other staff members, they wouldn't have their roster days off while we were away. And so there's a little mozzie again, going little turd. They cancelled all their own RDOs, and then now we're back, they can have 2 in a row to catch up and all that sort of thing. So they can work in together, which is just a great thing, and they worked it out themselves, and they run it past Jude, but I wasn't there. I'm a bit hard to catch there, but so look, that's a good thing. But Alan's away for 2 weeks holiday now. Now the school holidays are over, he's got the boat on and he's gone fishing, I believe. So so it'll be a busy couple of weeks with one down. We could probably almost do with someone else in the business, just a junior or something like that to fill some of the gaps. But you've got to have time to train and all that. But Judy and I want to do like 2 decent trips away a year, you know, perhaps a month at a time. We're at that stage in our life where we may as well, you know. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, so that's the changes at Queensland Tractor Spares, and what that does, it just makes the business more of a package where it's a walk-in, walk-out package. So without, like I can show people what I do, ordering overseas, and that's quite easy. Ross orders out of Ireland, I order out of the States and England, and yeah, we can get going there. Oh, Sparex is back up running, and so is Bepco. Both websites are up and running. They've got over their hiccups, and yeah, they're often racing again. So, which that was handy. We were having trouble for a week or so getting parts, and then Bearco was getting snowed under. So I think I mentioned that last week. So they're all back and running again. So that's a nice thing. Yeah, we might even make a few bob if we're not careful. So see how we go. So today I'm just going to go handheld with the camera. I'll do a little walk around outside, you know, show you a bit of what we've been doing. I probably won't go right over the paddock because it's just a bare paddock now where there was a heap. And I'll show you my little bench, and I might even set the camera up out the back here and just do a little run of this stripper disc that everyone said to get. Try that. I'm happy to try stuff like that, but my worry and what I'll be looking for in using it is that it doesn't smooth the casting out too much. I want it to still look like it would have when it come out of the factory. So, so that grainy cast look, I'd like to keep that. When you put the primer on, you do lose some of that anyway, but I would like to keep that, and I don't want that smooth mirror finish on it. I'd like a nice, clean, shiny paint job, but I don't want to take the character away, you know, grind out numbers and casting numbers and things like that. I want to leave all that there. So anyway, we'll see how we go. So, okay, look, thanks for dropping by. I don't know what videos are going to come out this week. It just depends what sort of day I have, how much I can get done. I was going to try and clean that gearbox housing up and put a coat of primer on it, and before I assembled it. I've got it inside nicely. Oh, something you may be able to help me with is some of in the bell housing, like in the bell housing, when I've degreased it, I use quite a caustic degreaser, and it's taken a lot of the primer that sealed up the casting off, and it's back to bare metal. In the bell housing where there's no oil, I'm going to use the CRC primer, you know, the red oxide. There's a couple of bits where it's a bit light inside the gearbox, and I was wondering about whether that stuff would go on and stay on and, you know, not have the oil eat it away, or is there something else I should be using? So if you've done it, leave a comment down below. Yeah, it's got to be able to, well, it's a gearbox, so it's going to have oil stirring around, and it's going to be quite violent in there with oil stirring around. And look, we probably don't need to seal it. There's still a light coating there, but I'll make up my mind when we get there, see how we go. But the bell housing, there's absolutely bugger all paint there now. Oh, yeah, I was saying last week about the plate under the bell housing, how the discussion on Facebook was that it had bottom written on it because when it got stamped out, it had a sharp edge. So that sharp edge went up towards the housing. And that was a talk on Facebook by people that reckon they knew. And I could see that making sense. Well, I pulled the plate off mine the other day. It's got bottom stamped on it, and those edges are round as you like. So I got no idea. Might be all bull. But anyway, we'll see. Okay, I'll stop talking. Thanks for dropping by, and you can see the sun coming in behind me there. That'll flare out. And anyway, we'll catch you all next week, eh? See ya. Okay, it's a bit dark over here, but This is what I've been up to. I cleaned all the area down here, swept it all out. I've still got a bit of cleaning to do. I haven't got the CNC. I've got to pull the box apart up there. It is flaring out, isn't it? I've got to pull the box apart and get that X-axis working, but that's okay. But I've got this double layer of 17mm ply through there where it's supported. I've got the laser set up over there with the laptop. I've got to clean all this up. Everything just went there where the screen is. So yeah, I've got the laser over there in the corner where it can get to the computer, no worries. I've got a work area here that I can put the buckets of solution and things like that on. I've got the 3D printer up this end, so it only needs an SD card and a power supply, so it can come up here away from the away from the computer area and some of the dust and that. So there's trees. I'll see if I can not flare you out. Outside there's these big gum trees, and when the wind blows, you would not believe, like, the flowers on them, and it blows all in through here and gets on everything. So I've got to give this a good blow off, and then I'm going to put a sheet over it just to keep it clean and tidy. It doesn't seem to get in the corner so much because I have a board going there. So that's a little bench. That's where I'll try and do a bit of plating and things like that. It's away from the work area, it's away from the welding bench where there's any sparks and all that sort of thing. So I've got a drawer to put stuff in. So it should be a bit tidier than that, but we'll get there. Yeah, see how we go. And I've pressure cleaned all this bay out. This is the working area for the gearbox and all that. I've swept all that, cleaned up all around the tractor and tidied up all through there. There's still a few boxes and that over the back, but all in all it's pretty good. It's a good environment. Some of the junk went on the bench over there on the toolbox, so I need to clean that this morning. But that's that's not too bad. That's the tripod where I do the stew. That's washing out now. You can see the sun on the back wall. And then out here, I cleaned all this, pressure cleaned this bay, and I've pressure cleaned the gearbox housing here. And see, there's still primer inside there, but in the bell housing here it's quite bare, so I will just do that with the normal red oxide and see how we go. I'll set the camera up and we'll tidy up this side, say, with that stripper disc, and we'll just see. But see the little cathedrals from the casting and the dates and all that. I don't want to upset that at all. But all the rest's fairly smooth anyway, so I don't suppose it'll matter. We've got bushes to put in through here. Knock these bushes out, so we'll get all the housing ready as we can. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, I've been giving the gearbox housing a bit of a run with this stripper disc, and yeah, look at, it melts over a little bit, but it does seem to work well. The thing I like about it is the speed, and I am maintaining the history of the tractor as well. Like, even though those shiny parts, you can still see the casting, the grain of the cast, so to speak. So because of the large radius, I'm still going to have to wire brush a few things like that, but look, that's no trouble. You've got to do that anyway. It certainly is quicker than what I was doing with my little pads. Well, it gets the bulk off quickly, so that's the go. You do get bits of shit flying off. I've got a full face mask there I use, but yeah, you can see I've got 2 or 3 thicknesses of paint here, and it just whizzes through that quite quickly. It is starting to round on the edge now after doing that one side, and that's fine. I suppose you would expect that. It's a consumable item, but look, it is way better than a wire brush on a grinder. Old Gertie down there, it's way better than that. And look, for the large areas it's good. I'll still have to get my little things out to hop into the corners here and things like that, and that's okay. It's all part of surface prep. But But yeah, whoever suggested me buy a stripper disc, that was good advice. It does work on the castings very well. So yeah, I'll just continue on. Well, there you go for the housing. Now, I cleaned it down with the pad. I wire brushed it. Tried to get into all the nooks and crannies, and tried to get in all the nooks and crannies, and took it outside. I degreased the whole housing once more. Pressure cleaned it all dry. I pressure cleaned it all clean. Blew it all dry with air, made sure it was out in the sun warming up a little bit, and then I've put some CRC rust converter on it. That's that black coating. That will neutralise any little pieces of rust or anything like that. It's really good stuff to use. So that housing will, well, it'll sort of etch in for a little while. They said on the instructions on the can, it said leave 2 hours, then spray straight across the top with an enamel paint job. Well, we're not going to do the enamel paint job. We're going to go straight across the top with a primer, an enamel primer, just to seal it up. But now that's there like that, I believe that'll stay good. There is a little section round the back here, down in there, that I'll have to do once I get it sitting on the tractor and off the stand. That's okay. There'll always be a couple little touch-ups. I'm happy with that. But inside, we've got that all lovely and clean. All the gaskets off, and yeah, I'll let it dry for a couple of hours, then we'll move forward from there. Yeah, so we've got the heap here. That's the heap that's been out. You can see all the green stuff there. Yeah, Judy whizzed in yesterday after lunch into Tim's place and did a bit of a tidy up around the garden again, so a lot of green stuff. So I've got to try and work that through today. But yeah, we've been burning some big stumps. I've got these fellas here now, so I'll feed them on as the day goes on, or oh no, we'll just see if I don't get it done today. It doesn't matter. Over here, that's that stump Judy got on her own over in the paddock there. So it's a heavy bloody thing, just solid. And yeah, we've got the 148. I've still got the roller netting on from when I'm doing the fencing because we have some more to do, and it looked heavy to lift off. So I've had to ratchet strap the linkage up because it leaks down, and it's okay with not much on, but as soon as you put a load of that sort of stuff on, yeah, it just hits the deck. So, but Jude's taken over the 148. That's her tractor now. So yeah. And look, it's a great tractor, and she likes it because, you know, you don't have to worry about flooding it or anything like that. You just hop on, put it in neutral, hit the key, and away she goes. So that's Jude's tractor. The if we walk around, it's usually over in the barn out of the weather, but she left it out here last night. But well, we sort of, when she came home from over at Tim's place, Mum was here having a yarn, so we had a yarn. Then yeah, we loaded a bit of stuff up here. Then yeah, our friend Sal was here on Saturday for dinner. Sal had a wall unit she was giving us, so we had to run to town and do that. So it was dark by the time we come home, and yeah, poor old tractor stayed out. So anyway, I'll get it back in under cover later. And Jude's wheelbarrow. So yeah, she loves scratching around in the paddock. But anyway, wears us out. We're a pair of old farts, but anyway, lucky we got our health to keep going with it, I suppose. There's our helper. You been helping? Been helping Mum today? You were helping Mum yesterday, eh? You're a bloody good helper. That there was one of the big trees. I've cut all the head off. Yeah, geez, that was heavy. The John Deere on the loader can lift that up, believe it or not. It's bloody heavy though. If it wasn't four-wheel drive, I don't think we'd be going anywhere. And over near the wood heap, see, we do have it stacked up over there, and we're building that pile just to let it dry out a bit, but I've got to sort that out today or tomorrow or next week or before I'm dead. Anyway, one day. And there's another log in the back there that I've dragged up. I kept in one piece. This big one here's got a pipe all the way, and even you can see some of the timber in the heap there. Right up the little branches all had pipes in them as well. So yeah, it was a bit hard on the chainsaw, that one. And yeah, when they got a bit of a hole in them like that, they're a bit hard. But then, yeah, the one next to it there, he's just solid. But that's a gadagi, we call them. That's a shit picture. But yeah, I'm not sure whether they're good for posts or not. But this old fella, he'll just be firewood. But all in all, we're cleaning up all through there, and the paddock's looking good. Where I slashed a fortnight ago, it's only grown about 100 mil or more, so that's good. Now the weather's cooled down, I'll probably try and slash the whole place again next weekend, and that'll probably last us for quite a long time. Now it's cooled down a little bit. But yeah, paddock's looking good, we just got to maintain it.